Wonderful Thursday evening here at the Rommel Fernandez as Deportivo Arabe Unido facing Central FC. The Panamanians coming in with a 2-1 advantage. Very slight cushion, if you will. But also what gives them a little bit more support is those 2 away goals. They could still lose tonight 1-0 and advance on away goals. Welcome, everyone, as we continue our coverage of the 2017 Scotiabank Concacaf League, as we're waiting to see which team will come out. As you see the weather conditions, typical rainy season type of weather here in Panama, as it's been raining. Of course, it was raining last night here as well, as you saw previously just about 24 hours ago that Plaza Amador was able to overtake Portmore United at this very same venue. A goal by Valentin Pimentel helps the boys from Plaza Amador to advance to the next round. Of course, they won in penalty kicks. As you see, a very active night here at the sports complex in Panama City. See the racetrack, of course, the Cascarita right nearby. A lot of league games played on that alternate pitch, or steps away from the offices of the Panamanian FA, and right below there, the Roberto Duran Arena, named, of course, after the legendary boxer, where obviously lots of boxing events, concerts, things of that nature happen. And of course, one more event that's going on at the Rommel Fernandez, one of many that will be going on in the next few days for league, and also next week, since Chorrillo as well as Plaza Amador, both teams advance, well, there will be matches at the Rommel Fernandez midweek as well. How many? Well, we'll find out and see how many. If it's 2, if it's 3, we'll have that figured out by the end of this evening. Of course, Arabe Unido, one of the contenders, if you will, for this CONCACAF League title. Many look at Olimpia or Alajuelense. They play later on tonight. Many were talking about that particular match determining who could possibly be the champion of this competition. We're still very early and still a lot of things to try and figure out. But for the most part, Arabe Unido has made the case, especially going on the road in their opening match, winning 2-1 at the Hazley Crawford Stadium and being able to come out pretty much unscathed after being able to or actually concede the first goal, come back. So we'll see a very different Central FC. A lot of speculation as to how this lineup, of course, the same lineups that will be on the pitch played just about a week ago. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out between the two sides, as Arabe Unido looking to seal their fate, as you see the refereeing crew and the players getting ready to come onto the pitch, as we're 90 minutes away, maybe even penalties, who knows? We had some last night. Why not be able to have a repeat performance? But all that will be answered in due time. In the meantime, we're waiting for all of the protagonists to make way onto the pitch. And you hear the horns, they're telling you that we're moments away from kickoff here at the Rommel Fernandez. As we check out Arabe Unido's starting 11, really no changes at all. As Sergio Guzman battling through a case of stomach problems, still being able to be on the pitch, or be on the bench, I should say. As Lloyd, Patrick Valencia, Chen, Ortiz in the back, Macea, Barahona, Heraldes, and Jose Gonzalez, with Renan Adels and Enrico Small, the starting 11 for Jeringa, as they call him in Panama. Sergio Guzman. And now, the big question, as you see, of course, Shaun Dasilva waiting for his counterpart, Abdiel Macea, as they wait to find out who is going to start out this match. There was a lot of talk by Dale Saunders about how he was going to play this match. Is he going to be more attacking? Is he going to try and counterattack a little bit more? How is the positioning of his players going to be different, despite having the same pieces that you're going to dispute this match that you did the last match? So it'll be interesting to see how the tactical disposition is a bit different, as you see Shaun Dasilva with the refereeing crew. Of course, that's headed by Eric Miranda. All Mexican crew, Salvador Gorrosino, Mario Carrillo, and Cesar Ramos, the two assistants, and the fourth referee, respectively, for this particular encounter. And again, the same lineup for Dale Saunders. Who's going to be sitting where? That'll be the big question. We'll see if Shaun Dasilva, the captain, will pretty much be dropping back a little bit more, allow Nathaniel Garcia to be the playmaker in the middle. We'll see how that plays. C. Prasad, Gabriel, George Sampson, and Tariq John. Dasilva and Nathaniel Garcia in the middle. Jules Lee and Mikel Jim Gordon out wide. Up top, Johan Peltier and Jason Marcano. Marcano, of course, setting up Peltier for the opener over in Port of Spain last week. As we wait for the indications from the sideline, just some last-minute motivation, if any more is needed with what's at stake tonight. As some of the fans made the trek from Colón, about maybe 2-3 hours from Panama City, as they make the trek to support their Deportivo Arabe Unido, who were on the pitch with their all-blue kits. Meanwhile, Central FC and their alternate grays going from left to right. Nathaniel Garcia turns, and he has the ball taken away quickly. Here's a good opportunity. Jose Gonzalez trying to split the ball through, and quickly it's Renan Adels seeing it behind. He continues to press, and it's Dasilva. Now again, a couple of things to notice. Where is Shaun Dasilva going to be sitting in the midfield? Is he going to be dropping back and allowing Nathaniel Garcia to be that point man? Or that point man in the attack? Is Dasilva recovering but gives it right back, as it's Nelson Barahona, the man of the match last week. As Arabe Unido quickly going out. Here's another opportunity. Barahona splits it through. Nice pass in the middle, creating space, and brought down. No handball is going to be called, as quickly you start to see a very intense Arabe Unido. Barahona back into the area. It goes off the crossbar. The first chance, Enrico Small. Warning shots being taken. Corner kick coming up. And Arabe Unido looking to strike once again. Look at, again, how much room Nelson Barahona is getting. That's one of the things Dale Saunders was talking about, how impressed he was with Barahona's ball movement and his distribution. He was adamant with his team in practice yesterday when they arrived to Panama City, how he wanted them to press him more because he is that metronome in the middle. More towards the channel, be more specific. Again, the header goes wide. This time, Roberto Chen coming up from his central defensive position. to strike that ball. But again, you start to see where Arabe Unido want to go. It's over in the direction of Nelson Barahona. He's just such a different player for this team. He's able to pinpoint passes, just has such great vision. And you saw that short pass that he sends to Angel Patrick so he can break lines and go inside, make that run inside the area. That shows you what type of vision and how he changes perspectives. Barahona losing that ball to Shaun Dasilva. Dropping back, here's a good chance for Adels. He's being dragged, a chance to shot! And Renan Adels! 1-0, Arabe Unido at 3 minutes. Very flat defensively right now, Central FC. You're going to see what I'm talking about. First of all, losing the ball. Look at Adels where he is. And nobody really keeping him in check. Goes right through. So much for playing more defensively. It's Jose Gonzalez able to win that ball. Again, it's about minimizing mistakes too. So Adels, all three forwards for Arabe Unido have scored in this tie. Remember, in the last match, it was both Enrico and Carlos Small that scored. Now it's Renan Adels at 3 minutes officially as Adels goes down, but it's a foul in favor of Central FC. And that's been a bit worrying because you've seen Nathaniel Garcia be the one that's linking up, or at least trying to drop back more to be that support or that stopper in front of that back line of four. But you don't see much of anything. You don't see any containment, but you don't see any recovery, especially if you look to analyze that goal. That was the major issue. There was nobody there. The 50-50 ball was pretty easy to be picked off, and that's what caused the eventual pass and goal for Renan Adels. Daniel Ortiz with the reset. Looking to press Central FC as they have to drop back and reorganize themselves, as Arabe Unido looking to press in the middle. Again, an errant pass. Here's a good opportunity, slipping a little bit. There was some footing problems yesterday. Adels has to cut back, didn't have the angle, and also not very left-footed. Another chance. Here's Barahona waiting for the ball. Has a man, trying to put on some style points here, but unfortunately it doesn't reach Angel Patrick, but Barahona coming back. And there's been a lot of talk, now that you start looking at it, is this bit of frustration being shown there by Mikel Jim Gordon. Many in the Panamanian press looking for Nelson Barahona to come back to the Panamanian national team. And of course, there's a lot of, not dissent, but there's a lot of rifts within the Panamanian press with national team coach Bolillo Gomez, as he's being resisted and criticized constantly, sometimes just, sometimes unjust, as right there Roberto Chen coming off and giving it to Barahona. He's keeping himself open. Another cross into the middle. It's cleared away there by Tariq Sampson. And another foul being called. So when you see those rips and you see a player that's playing well, and we've seen that several times under the Hernan Dario Gomez regime, that there's been players that the fans want, that the press have been clamoring for. Many have been starting to clamor for return of Nelson Barahona to the national team. As if there's a player that they need with his qualities, well, he fits that bill. As again, Ortiz losing that ball. Looking to break out quickly. It's Nathaniel Garcia dashing through the middle. Barahona, but right to Roberto Chen. Lots of room in the middle, and a very apprehensive Central FC, not being willing to converge, just dropping their midfield lines to defend, keep their lines a little closer. And that really makes a big difference when it comes to that attacking third, although we haven't seen that in this match as we're already in the 8th minute of play. Garcia running down the middle as the ball was recovered by Johan Peltier. Finding a foul there on Shaun Dasilva. And many have been talking about, going back to Barahona, about why he hasn't been called up. And many look at it, maybe it's a bit simplistic on the answer. But one of the reasons why is, of course, he really wasn't, and he really didn't leave the Colombian League, specifically Independiente Medellin, a couple of seasons ago, when Bolillo Gomez's assistant, Panzer Carvajal, was coaching on that squad. So many see that there's the rift that's created. Peltier inside the area, knocked away by Roberto Chen. Waiting for that ball and looking to dash forward is Jose Gonzalez, who's playing on the left-hand side, going to Adels, a little too deep. And a good play there by Stefan Sipersad. Garcia, Dasilva. As Barahona now switches sides, banging and crashing. He does have both the physicality as well as the skills with his feet. Barahona's return to the Panamanian League has really raised a lot of eyebrows. But at the same time, there's been some departures. Case in point, Blas Perez, as well as Felipe Baloy, both heading to Municipal in Guatemala. Of course, this weekend, it's the big Clásico in Guatemala between Municipal and Comunicaciones. We'll be playing this Sunday. You'll see the replay again. And how quickly, that was one of the keys to the match. Who's going to be pressuring who and in what sectors? Well, so far Central FC really haven't pressured Arabe Unido in the middle third, and that's really helped a lot of the movement and pattern of passing that really needs to be created by Arabe Unido to be successful, and that's been the case up to now. Dasilva, as he's looking to hook up with Jason Marcano, and the former San Juan Jablote man, looking to control, trying to dash through. Gets past 3, can't get past that 4th, and commits the foul in the process. It's interesting to speak to Jason Marcano because he always tells you with a very glowing and a very happy smile when he starts reminiscing about his beginnings in professional football. As you see right there, the tackle, the challenge on Chen. He remembers principal at his school. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. As Adels gets tangled up with the ball, and reset coming up here for Central FC. Samson. Need to regroup and need to be a little bit more patient, which is something that they lacked. And it was something that they mentioned after the match in the mixed zone. I'm talking about in the away leg. They were talking about how disciplined, and it was a sense of praise after the match about one of the aspects that helped Arabe Unido be able to make their comeback was for them to truly be patient, hold on to the ball, give a little bit more pause to their play, and think things through a little bit better, especially with Barahona, who saw Adels out wide. Looking to rush through, being a little bit too vertical. This Dasilva winning it, dropping back. And looking to regroup here. Going down the wing, and Roberto Chen taking a stab at it. Finally, it goes out of bounds. So already 12 minutes in, Arabe Unido's first flurry ended up being successful, but after that, they really haven't done much. As Central, a bit disorganized in the attack, have been pressing. Here's Barahona, the overlap from his hairstyle twin brother, Ortiz. Seeper side. There's Nathaniel Garcia. Look how alone he is in the middle of the pitch. Now looking to go out wide. Nope, decides to go deep. And that's why you see a lot of the plays being snuffed out very quickly. As first option, deep. Second option, deep. Third option, maybe I'll go wide. As you see Dale Saunders, you saw Brent Sancho, former Trinidad international. Of course, he's the founder and owner, or president, I should say, of Central FC. Founded it back in 2012. Marcano there marking Angel Patrick. Macea, Barahona, as they weave the ball back and forth, goes to Ortiz. Barahona checking back and moving the ball around, looking to give some continuous ball movement, but again the ball is quickly snuffed out. There's Barahona. Out wide is Angel Patrick. Low line drive as Patrick will get to it. Another cross, no, it'll be a corner kick as it deflects in the process. Let's see how many players come out and start to attack or look to try and get that set piece. As they go short, Dasilva comes out, cleared out by Marcano. Gonzalez and Patrick looking to set up. Patrick's been more involved in looking to push up higher down that right wing, as most of his defensive responsibilities are more about pressing, because Central FC really haven't done much down that far side. Another cross in the area, slapped away. Corner kick on the near side here for Deportivo Arabe Unido as we reach the 15th minute of play. 1-0 for Arabe Unido, 3-1 on aggregate. Barahona using them as a distraction. It'll be another corner kick once more. And you don't see any secondary coverage. You don't see any secondary marks or any backing up or any relays, especially on that play. That's a bit preoccupying if you're if you're Central FC, for Barahona to just use one simple little move to be able to shut off a defender. See right there, you see Dasilva's not really making much of a move. Here's another ball that comes through. Gonzalez looking for Adels. Quickly looking to break out Central FC. Do they have options? Yes, they do. They have about 2 or 3 that they're looking to break out with. Jules Lee has to drop it back as he gets it right back. Marcano asking to lead him on to the ball, but Lee didn't see that. Gabriel. Another ball being controlled nicely there by Tariq John. Dasilva advancing on the attack. There's another ball coming through in very similar circumstances there. Of course, this time the ball gets deflected. Ball gets crossed into the middle. And Mikel Jim Gordon, in that case before, it was Marcano that set the ball up for Peltier. Ended up being a goal. Talking about the match over in Port of Spain. Bit of an adjustment here by the Panamanian defense by Deportivo Arabe Unido. First corner kick of the match coming up from the Trinidadian international, Shaun Dasilva. Near the top of the 6, but cleared out quickly. Adels keeps that ball alive, but dropping back to cover. So it goes to Garcia. Here's Marcano. Jules Lee. Not sure what he was trying to do there. As the boys from Colon, at this point, doing a good job of regulating Central FC. And they go on the attack. Daniel Ortiz. Abdiel Macea. Current pass is Gonzalez. Loses track. Here's Marcano. Barahona, quick passes. Central FC gets caught napping. Again, too much air on that ball, too short. It gets cleared away. Now looking to start something in the middle. Dasilva. Very secure with the ball. Gives a lot of stability. Not the most spectacular player, but very efficient, very clean with every single pass. Very good decision-making processes for Shaun Dasilva. Comes right back to holding midfielder. Gabriel. Silva sneaking into a pocket, and he gets the ball once again, looking to open things up as he leaves it for Marcano. Out wide again it goes. Will he get to it? Yes, he will. Looking for Jim Gordon. One spin too quick, one spin too much. Try to do something a little bit too complicated, and now it's Renan Adels looking to answer back. A lot of box-to-box action, but lacking in organization. Sometimes you see both teams going from second to fifth, and that's when you see them stutter, when you see them sputter a little bit more, I should say. Here's Gonzalez looking to control. Barahona. Giving a little bit of flair, giving a little bit more style. Out wide is Angel Patrick. Adel sees him. Patrick has to control it once, crossing it into the middle. It goes out wide once more. As Jules Lee trying to one-up Barahona in the heel flick department. Here's Lee once again, as Ortiz preventing the rush up the pitch. And you see that you don't see much generation of ball movement or really a progressive series of passes that leads to an organization offensively for this Central FC side, with the exception of when Shaun Dasilva has it. When it starts going down the wings, it's just send the ball deep, let's see what we can do, or send the ball deep for whoever's up top, whoever the lone point man is. And that really falls into the game plan of an Arabe Unido, who has about 3, sometimes even 4 defenders drop back, waiting for that possibility. As a quick reset here for Central FC. Diagonal run, but has to drop all the way back. Does Jim Gordon, and the ball's going to be shepherded out by Angel Patrick. 21 minutes, still 1-0. As you see right there, the brain trust. Will Saunders, Brent Sancho, Stern John. Yeah, that's Stern John for many of you that have followed Major League Soccer in the recent, or actually not, in about the last decade or so. Another mistake here for Renan Adels. 3-on-3, looking as the goalkeeper's off his line, and it misses just wide. C. Prasad got caught in no man's land, but the touch was way too heavy. See right there. Not a bad decision, good decision if you will, but try and tell that to his teammates. Jim Gordon. Oh, by the way, Miguel Lloyd is playing as he gets his first touch of the match. Lloyd, who stopped a penalty kick. Barahona. Touch there, not too sharp by Enrico Small. As you see, Sergio Guzman. didn't attend the press conference prior to the match. One of his assistants took care of all the questions from the press. Of course, he did that prior to Dale Saunders. Dale Saunders really had some interesting things to say. Here's Enrico Small, a chance, the shot, the save by Siperson, still bouncing around in 2-0 for Arabe Unido Renados. Second goal of the match, second of the tournament for Arabe Unido. And again, defensive mistakes. Right there, as Tariq Sampson, not much he could do. And when you have a defense that's standing so flat, the run away from the ball, great vision too by Enrico Small to recognize Adels on the run. Just to make sure, puts his foot on it once again. So a brace for that man, Renan Adels. As now, Arabe Unido with a 2-0 advantage, 4-1 on aggregate. As the Panamanian sides really beginning to establish themselves within Central American circles. And even when you start looking at their performances last year in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League, well, they also left a very good impression amongst many that were following that tournament and were following these teams as well. Angel Patrick. Adels, of course, the native from Colón, playing for his hometown team. Not a bad way to do it. Of course, he's only scored 1 goal so far in the Panamanian League, so this is a good way to kind of get out and really begin to step up as a contributor on the goal-scoring end. Many were looking for some very big things out of Adels, but has had his ups and his downs. It's Jules Lee. Way too much time as Marcano. Shaun Dasilva, good idea, but the ball just too heavy and the run a little too flat to be able to collect it properly. What I want you to look in what I've been looking to really impress upon why Arabe Unido is having so much success in the middle. You have to look at one place and one place only. Look at where Shaun Dasilva is, and to me, it should be more inverted. It shouldn't be Shaun Dasilva up top and then Nathaniel Garcia. It's not that function. He doesn't have that same function in the middle of the pitch. You have a player like Garcia who's not a holding midfielder. He can play a little bit deeper back, but you can't have him dropping back and being a holding midfielder. You see right there, that's the major case for this particular formation not working. Garcia's not that type of player. Shaun Dasilva can fill in that function a little bit better and be able to play out of the back and use Nathaniel Garcia as a means to transport the ball through the middle of the pitch instead of going out wide like they're doing right now. Because why? They get converged on like this, and then wing play becomes very limited. Garcia to Marcano. And Marcano's more accustomed to playing from the outside in. Jules Lee as he tries to squeeze that ball through, but good defense by Daniel Ortiz. Dasilva, as Leslie Heraldes there waiting for him, the chance to shot from outside. As Miguel Lloyd just watches it. Heraldes also has dropped back a little bit more, so that allows him and Macea to stay up. More of a four, I guess you could say it's more of a 4-2-2-2 with two holding midfielders for Arabe Unido. And that helps them to drop back, as you see Heraldes dropping back. Macea a little bit more in front as he's able to step out. Barahona, bit of a dangerous pass there, hospital ball, but recovered quickly. See again those 50-50 balls, really complicated. You see Dale Saunders, of course, just furious right now with his team. Peltier, Macea, as he goes on the attack. Angel Patrick. Chen. Barahona. And the ball, when it goes through Barahona, it just goes at a different speed. He's thinking it, and right there, I say that, and all of a sudden he kicks the ground. And now Central FC just rushing the ball up the pitch. Patrick anticipating. Another pass that's telegraphed in the middle of the pitch, and now again trying to stab that ball through the defense. Looking to break lines once again. Adels. Angel Patrick waiting, but it goes all the way back to Macea. Barahona directing traffic in the middle, looking who's available. It goes over to Leslie Heraldes. Ortiz Heraldes now. Macea making himself available, checking to his teammate. Barahona turning, and he protects the ball very well. He's not the tallest player. He has a very good center of gravity, but he's able to protect the ball in such a way. Of course, he has a very stocky figure, and that makes things very complicated. Anyways, you see, speaking of which, Panzer Carvajal, man right there, second to your right. He's the assistant of the Panamanian national team. Watching this match, cross into the area, looking and missing, just wide, a glancing header by Enrico Small. Almost made it 3-0 as we're into the final, nearing the final 15 minutes of this first half. Look how alone he is. Those are unforgivable mistakes from a defensive standpoint. As Central FC looking to break out of the back. Nodding it into the middle, but nods it right back to Daniel Ortiz. Now, a lot of speculation will come out of course, I mentioned a bit of the relationship between Barahona and Panzer Carvajal. Now, him coming, does that mean that he's looking at him, or is he looking at other players? Most likely, obviously, Roberto Chen, who is part of the national team pool. Gonna go back in. Again, it goes to Barahona. A lot of good ball movement. Again, they have so much space in the middle to operate with, it's not even funny. Another cross, and they have a lot of space in the middle, too. Headed straight down by Enrico Small. Gonzalez trying to keep it in, does. Barahona, and actually that's Ortiz. Has Ortiz trying to dance through, and it'll be a corner kick. That maliciousness that you start to see with these players from Arabe Unido really making a big difference, and Central FC very tentative defensively. As Enrico Small heads straight down. Now we're talking 3-0 right now. Very tentative, very tenuous on defense. And when your coach is talking about playing more defensively, there's a fine line between being defensive and then becoming tenuous. Barahona as they go short, looking for Adels. Ortiz got beat on that first touch, and it'll be a goal kick. And there isn't, as many tend to not really look at playing defensively in the best of lights. There is an art to be able to play defensively and execute very well, but there's two things that aren't going well for Central FC. There isn't an outlet, and when you play defensively and give so much space in the middle, you're leaving yourself very susceptible to passes that are going to split through your lines, and that's exactly what Arabe Unido has been able to do so far in this match. Jim Gordon as Shaun Dasilva looking to rush through. Dasilva having to go back inside, but he goes out wide again. Here's a good opportunity that's brewing for Central FC, looking to get on the board. Looking to at least get one road goal back. Of course, at this point, with Arabe Unido scoring twice, what we are assured of now is that there will not be penalties. The only result that would have led to penalties would have been a 2-1 win for Central. And passes behind the back lines back. Cross into the middle as nobody's there. Now finally coming in is Enrico Small as he recovers the ball. Enrico, again another chance. The shot that goes over. As Gonzalez got under it a little bit too much. Sails it into the track. Over in the west side of the stadium. And again, these are little things. Of course, it doesn't end up as a goal, but those are just telltale signs of why one team is dominating proceedings and the other one isn't. It's not about the passes. It's not about style points or plays. Yes, that's very important too. But what's going on here is losing balls like that, making mistakes with the ball at your feet. Those are the things that have really been the killers for Central FC tonight. As Nathaniel Garcia hits the deck. Of course, you see some of the footing problems. Garcia definitely there, and of course a foul that's committed by Barahona. Next time Arabe Unido get into Central FC's half of the pitch, especially in the middle, count the amount of seconds they have to make a decision off the ball. Adels, as well as Barahona, out wide. You start to see more in good attack here brewing as the anticipation as it goes to Shaun Dasilva, going out wide again, and even wider is Roberto Chen diving, sending them long legs to swipe that ball out of bounds. Finally do, but it'll still be Central FC's ball. Final 10 minutes of this first half. 2-0 convincing for Arabe Unido. Dasilva. Marcano. Out wide is Michael Jim Gordon. Trying to split the defense, and that's not going to happen as it's Garcia. Jules Lee. Michael Jim Gordon. Barahona has the foul. They just a little painful. You gotta cringe a little bit, especially when if you have those new type of boots that players use nowadays. They feel everything. Valencia, Colombian central defender. Every passing minute, we've seen Arabe Unido, when they have the ball and they control it, they become more daring. Of course, they have a better perspective to see the game from. There'll be a lot of adjustments that Dale Saunders has to do in order to get his team back. I mean, it's still not impossible. Still very possible for them to get a goal back, and that could change momentum a little bit more as it goes out wide to Enrico Small. Small being able to beat his man Keston George. Finally, the native of Port of Spain being able to swipe that ball out wide. Macea. Marcano committing the foul. I'm still trying to figure out who of those two, which one of those two is going to be the one that helps the defense out. As the pressure it's been there at times, but it's not the most precise. As you see right there, Garcia as well as Dasilva dropping back is Peltier and even Marcano. So I guess there's some support there, but then they lose a lot on the attack whenever they come out clean. Ortiz. How much room they have. Adels splitting through. The chance, the shot, and Sipersad. You saw how much time there was to collect and find the best possible pass. There's not a lot of pressure that Central FC's committing. It is really committing, especially on their half of the pitch. Continuing to go as Arabe Unido getting a little bit bolder and trying to look for that third goal. Cutting back inside, has a man right there. Chance the shot that goes over by Gonzalez as he was being harassed inside the area. Angel Patrick. Mind you, just to give you a bit of perspective of where Angel Patrick is coming from, Angel Patrick's playing at left back and he's pretty much inside the 18, cutting inside, looking for a pass to send. Send backwards. Barahona. Play goes out wide. Here's Renan Adels! The save by Sipersad. Again, who's pressing the man with the ball? Corner kick coming up for Arabe Unido. As we're into the final 7 minutes of this first half. Look how much time there is with him on the ball and how many people are going after him. That's the problem. Sipersad saving the day once again. Here's Nelson Barahona. Heraldes. Barahona just knocks it all the way back. Said, well, let me go. Why don't you get a touch? Ortiz. As Heraldes has dropped back essentially as a central defender. Barahona. Dasilva. Nice move by Dasilva. Has a man waiting. It's Jim Gordon. Peltier. Here's a good chance. It goes out wide. Gabriel. Here's a good opportunity for Nathaniel Garcia from outside. Prior to the goal from Johan Peltier last week against this same Arabe Unido side, the only player that had scored for Central FC was Kadian Gabriel. They've gone through, they still are going through a bit of a scoring slump. They've only been able to score 2 goals in their last 4 matches. Of course, they had a bit of a break this week. Of course, they'll come back and they'll play W Connection. And I'm talking about Central FC. They'll be playing W Connection on Saturday. Big match for them. As it's been a bit of a transitional year for Central. Lost of some very key names from the past couple of seasons that have been just fundamental, or were fundamental in their success. So you have some players in their defense. You have some players that are getting more minutes than they're accustomed to, bringing in younger players that are getting more playing time. And you have a mix of many individuals that are trying to become a cohesive part of a unit. So there is that aspect that Dale Saunders does have to deal with. And when speaking to Brent Sancho, he was quite adamant about that, saying, well, our desire as a club at this point is to be one that we can develop our players, and eventually we know that they're going to go elsewhere. Dasilva. It's not very easy when you lose players like Leston Paul, like Darren Mitchell, and of course when you lose, and you have to give a lot of credit to Stefan Sipersad for stepping in, and he's done very well. But one thing is to come in and replace an individual as important from the back as Jan-Michael Williams, the Trinidadian international goalkeeper. That's not something that you can just replace immediately, although Sipersad has been very effective en route to replacing him. Chen. Final 2 minutes plus whatever stoppage time will be added. It's Sipersad again. Again, losing the ball very quickly, Nathaniel Garcia. Dashing through as it goes to Barahona. See how much time will be added. About a minute, not more than that. There haven't been many stoppages, so about a minute tops as we get into the final minute of the first 45 being played here at the Rommel Fernandez. So far the pitch has held up very well. The grounds crew were until late hours of the evening and early hours of the morning working on this pitch to try and have it in shape after the match last night, of course, after the persistent pouring rain from yesterday and some additional rain that came down throughout the day today. Good move there by Keston George as he pushes up. Marcano and Dasilva. Now it's Gordon. Garcia, Marcano. Now it's Barahona. Adels. No, actually, no time will be added on. There really weren't any stoppages as the fans that made the trek from Colón definitely pleased as their beloved Deportivo Arabe Unido with a brace by Renan Adels are up. They've expanded that aggregate. It's 2-0 at the half, but 4-1 on aggregate. This first 45 minutes showed you one main thing: mistakes versus execution, and then youth versus experience. As the more experienced Arabe Unido comes out with all guns blazing, looking to finish things off, as Enrico Small comes very close, and it was a sign of things to come. As just moments later, it was Renan Adels being able to find the defensive mistake, losing track of a defender, putting the ball in the back of the net. That really was the story. And Renan Adels scores his first one. You see how the defense really loses reference of the players they have to be marking and preventing those balls from going over their head and understanding where they need to be. And that's where you start to see some of the failures, some of the breakdowns. Again, that's part of the youth process. That's part of what they're looking to learn. Arabe Unido looking chance after chance, give and go. It's just another speed. It's another way of seeing the game. And as soon as they start moving the ball around and players start moving away from the ball, that's when you start to see the inexperience defensively for Central FC. Again, it's part of the learning process for many of these players. Some that are experienced, some that are getting their first test, their first taste, if you will, of international competition, and they're getting a lesson in that particular aspect. But they've been very brave. They haven't been able to understand how to press a little bit more, but Arabe Unido understanding to keep the ball moving, keep the ball flowing, keep the opportunities going, because there will be a man open somewhere, somehow. So you see the stats right there as Arabe Unido moving the ball around very well and looking to break lines. Their passing has been more that. That's been when they've been the most dangerous. For Central FC, it's more about pushing the ball forward and see what can happen. There's been a couple of moments where it looked like something was going to happen, but it just was stymied by bad timing and also the inexperience that's been showing. back here at the Rommel Fernandez as the fans enjoying some beverages and, more importantly, enjoying the football that they've been able to see from their team. As Arabe Unido, in this first half, you could say that they've made the tie pretty much. They've assured themselves of a spot. There you go. There's Bolillo Gomez, as he's observing alongside his assistant and the families. He tends to attend a lot of the league games in Panama. Tends to also attend a lot of the youth teams as well. A lot of the national team, talk about the youth levels, and a lot of the reserve teams for these respective sides. Even the second division, even clubs like Costa del Este, has seen Hernan Darío Gomez visiting just to make sure he sees everything is going right with some of the teams, and maybe start looking at a couple of players before they eventually or possibly make a move to the first division. So a brace by Renan Adels, his first 3 minutes in, the second one at the 23rd minute, as referee Eric Miranda of Mexico waiting to get the indication from the match coordinator to get started with the second half. As Arabe Unido up, as I mentioned before, 2-0, 4-1 on aggregate. So Central FC would need 3 goals to be able to advance to the quarterfinals. Up to now, there's been, it doesn't look like there were any substitutions for either side. As both teams looking to settle down for this second 45-minute session. Barahona, they're harassing in the middle, but the ball gets past Peltier, and Johan Peltier looking out for Marcano. Goes even wider out, the chance to shot the cross. The deflection off the body of Christian Valencia. Garcia out wide. As Barahona again. He's been all over the place, and probably if they score one more goal, you'll start to see players like Barahona get subbed off. As of course the winner of this match, the winner of this tie, would face Aguila. Aguila came away with a 4-3 victory in penalty kicks. Of course, they beat Real Estelí in the away leg. and the return leg, they lost 1-0. But in penalties, they were able to advance as the foul being committed. So tonight, we'll have the respective ties that are left. Of course, the first one has already been defined. It's Santos de Guapiles against Chorrillo. Ball goes over the head of Renan Adels. Marcano. So Chorrillo will host, and most likely will be here at the Rommel Fernandez. That'll be next week. After all the remaining ties are determined, the dates will be determined as well. So check your local listings as far as kickoffs. Just wait until the end of the round tonight, and things will be a little bit more clarified. Here's Barahona, splits it right through. Looked like offsides initially, as right there Enrico Small trying to just poke that ball through, but not enough pace on that ball. Again, Stefan Siepersod, the 21-year-old goalkeeper. As I mentioned prior to the end of the first half, some big shoes to fill, as he's the replacement, or he is the heir for the goal that was once defended by Yan Michael Williams. Ball just knocked through, and seeing the ball getting pinged and ponged around a little bit more. Shaun Dasilva. Masea. Small is Adels. Now it's Enrico. Small, the save by Sipersad. Already 3 big saves by Stefan Sipersad, as he's been able to slam the door on various occasions. Tough break for Enrico Small. Of course, he's also part of the Panamanian national team pool, as Bolillo Gomez has already asked for or required of his services on various occasions. Most notably this year, back in January, when the Central American Cup was being held at this same stadium. Ball intercepted by Masea. Barahona securing it back with Roberto Chen. Another deep ball, this time for Adels. So see right there again. Great intervention there by Sipersad. Shaun Dasilva. Mikel Jim Gordon. As he and Dasilva, talk about Nathaniel Garcia push up, Barahona, and deflecting as it goes to Marcano. Not sure where that pass was intended, but it surely wasn't designed to go to Christian Valencia. First touch passing, that's been the difference between one side and the other. Here's again Enrico Small winning the space, winning the chance to shot. Not the best decision there, but then he didn't have many other options. I could have been rushing, but who knows if he would have kept the ball, as it was Tariq John pressuring there. Another player that's looking to gain experience, as the foul being called. Tariq John, of course, 21 years old. There's a good mix still of players. I mean, you have the more veteran players in Marcano, who's 33. You start looking at other leaders, if you will. Of course, one that didn't make the trip, and here's another ball. No, that's onside. Rushing off is Sipersad, and good job by him to prevent Adels from controlling the ball. Carlos Edwards, another player. He's at 38. For Shaun Dasilva, the captain, at 27 years of age. Of course, he's already had a good seasoning, a good mix of experience. As Dasilva, as you see the foul here, it's committed on Leslie Heraldes. Of course, Dasilva playing with Central now in his 4th season. Played at one point with Minnesota United, back when Minnesota United was still in the North American Soccer League, prior to their move to Major League Soccer just this past year. Barahona and a yellow card. First of the match being issued goes to Keston George in the 4th minute of play. It's coming from behind, just textbook. Classic foul. Ortiz dashing through 3 defenders, looking to connect, but again telegraphing the pass in the middle, anticipated very nicely by Tariq Sampson. Patrick securing it in the middle. Heraldes losing it to Garcia. And we start to see more from Shaun Dasilva on the attack. Michael Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon again to Dasilva. Trying to serve it through, but not much going there. Again, Dasilva recovering it in the middle. He's been one of the bright spots for this Central FC side, without a doubt. Also got to give a lot of credit to Steven Siepersad, as he's been brilliant despite conceding 4 goals. A lot of saves that he's made, one-on-ones, shots from long distance, things of that nature. He's been very impressive. It's Ortiz. Then coming through the header, the chance, the shot, the save by Siepersad. 3 for 3 for Siepersad against Enrico Small. It's his 5th save of the night. Macea stumbles and rumbles forward as he gives it to Adels. Nobody in the middle, a chance to shot, just keeps swerving wide. Saw Siepersad just a bit off his line. But again, how much of a difference has this been on that far side? So I've seen Jules Lee, and another shot recovered there by Siepersad. As the Arabe Unido fans already celebrating, as Garcia redeeming himself after losing the ball. Marcano securing. Macea again. Marcano, look how much, every time Central FC get the ball, look how much dribbling needs to be done. Very, very little 1- and 2-touch passing being done by Central FC. Good work by Jules Lee on the recovery, as Dasilva, given a hospital ball, brings it back to Nathaniel Garcia. Dasilva directing traffic, Marcano nearby. Not much of an association, give and go right there, but instead goes out wide, sends it over to Michael Jim Gordon, but poked away by Angel Patrick. Dasilva now pretty much playing as a number 9 as he rushes forward. Now Dasilva as a midfielder. Arabe Unido does not mind one bit, just dropping back and waiting. They're more than willing to wait until they can pounce to send that ball deep or send it on a counterattack in the opposite direction. 58th minute, and Arabe Unido controlling this match, and just 32 minutes away from advancing to the quarterfinal round. Lloyd. Heraldes again. Valencia, as Ortiz starts to kick it into 2nd and 3rd gear. A little bit too far. No complications wanted by Jules Lee, as he tends to drop back more, and as soon as he sees that Kadian Gabriel is stuck, he drops back, and that's another thing to be looking at. Putting that ball right through and continuing to push is Arabe Unido. Barahona in the middle. Play continue to progress forward and just swiped out of bounds there by none other than Tariq Sampson. Substitution coming in for Arabe Unido, and it'll be Josimar Gomez as well as Carlos Small. And it'll be Abdiel Macea coming off. Number 25. So Abdiel Macea, he'll be coming off for Josimar Gomez. That'll be at 60. And Enrico, small for small. So 2 substitutions at 60. Carlos Small, number 58, coming on for Enrico Small, number 11. A lot of credit to Enrico Small, what he was able to do tonight. Very commendable. Was denied on 3 opportunities by Stefan Sipersad, but more importantly, he was also denied by the crossbar on the first bit of action of the match. So 4 chances that did not go in for Enrico Small. Barahona from outside. That ball just didn't dip exactly when he wanted it to. So far in these last 2 matches, the foul's called. Barahona, like he has a remote control on his foot, is the substitution coming on. It'll be Kervil Jeremiah coming on. Looks like it will be Kervil, big guy up top for Johan Peltier. That'll be at 62. So have a big guy up top. The information sheets that are given says he's about 194, about 1.94 m, and of course in inches that would be about 6'4", 6'5". Kervil Jeremiah. There's a good opportunity coming up as Angel Patrick is down on the near side. Play continues. It's Gabriel, a chance to shot. And that's the first shot of the match for, actually the first shot on goal, I should be more specific. That comes off of the foot of Jason Marcano as Angel Patrick felt something pop, or at least that's the indication that he's giving. Right there he gets, as his leg gets hooked. He was indicating the back of his leg. Hopefully it's nothing serious, it just that his leg got caught. And that's hopefully all it is. As he, of course, just in pain right now, obviously. Of course, for this team, for Arabe Unido, it's been obviously a very difficult year. All will be coming back, both on the field and off. And you see right there the pain that he's feeling in his hip. I'm not sure if it's in his hip. Just feels a bit of tenderness. There might be a substitution. Yep, that's it. As Angel Patrick will come off. At least for now, Arabe Unido will play a man down. Sipersad. Arabe Unido last semester were just moments away from winning the league title, but then Tauro scored. Looks like they're holding off the substitution. They're just gonna see how his leg works out. Here's Mikel Jim Gordon, the chance. The shot gets deflected off of Chen. I was saying Arabe Unido was moments away from winning the title. Tauro scores in the 91st minute. Tauro become champions. Central FC becoming more aggressive. Deep ball, looking for Carlos Small. It's Nathaniel Garcia. Another big. Carlos Small is just small by name. Ortiz, as things getting a bit sloppy for Arabe Unido. Jeremiah. Barahona. Adels, as he looks to find a way to get a hat trick, but he has to get around Tariq Sampson. Of course, back in April, the team, not just the team, but also Panamanian football, suffered a huge loss with the tragic death of Amilcar Enriquez. Of course, that was a huge obstacle that the team had to overcome. They were able to overcome it. The substitution finally is done. And coming on is Rigoberto Niño for Angel Patrick. So third and final substitution that occurs in the 66th minute. So that is it for Arabe Unido as far as substitutions are concerned, as they've lost their north a little bit. They've lost a little bit of their order or their organization in these last few minutes. It's coming on again, Rigoberto Niño. Oh, and cleared out very quickly. Barahona seems like he's always at the right place. It's Carlos Small. 5 defenders dropping back as Adels all by himself down the near side. Barahona trailing the play. Coming through and saving what could have been the 3rd goal. Tariq John. As you see how it's just been the story of the evening. As John right there knocking it away. It's been a long night for that Central FC defense. Again, going short. Cross into the area. Missed in the hat trick. No, it's going to be a goal for Arabe Unido. Carlos Small is on the score sheet tonight, and he joins Renan Adels atop the leading goal scorers table. 3-0. Elementary, my Dear Watson Elementary, the mistakes made tonight by Central FC. You see right here, number one is I don't know about that one. Here you won't get the same view, but look where Carlos Small is. I'm not sure if you'll get such a good, maybe here. I don't know about that one. It looked like Small was offside. It was awfully close with the foul nonetheless, as it's Carlos Small at 68. So 3-0, 5-1 on aggregate. And with this result, and it's Aros looking for the hat trick. With this result, where San Juan Jablote was eliminated by Santos de Guapiles, now Central FC, near that point, of course, Portmore United were eliminated by Plaza Amador, so that would take out all of the Caribbean teams from this competition. There's another chance from from Arabe Unido. Aros, Barahona. As Nino watches, Barahona again a little too heavy on the touch. As again quickly they look to break out. But again, the ball taken away. As we're here at the Estadio Rommel Fernandez, Arabe Unido comfortably winning. And 3-0 might be a bit generous as far as how uneven the match has been. As Dasilva, Jeremiah stumbles and rumbles forward, but the ball quickly taken away in the middle of the pitch as it's Carlos Small. All 5 goals by Arabe Unido, all scored by forwards. So Arabe Unido will now have to wait to see when they play. And I'm talking about from a league perspective. You can see right here. Right there, of course, the infraction. Look at when the ball's touched. He's already offside there. So that was an offside call that was missed. That was, of course, Salvador Gorrosino. Look, and that was a bit hesitant. Only one of the defenders got it right, as Carlos Small was offside. Of course, now with the implementation of VAR, of course, a video review, and Ross Dowden sporting a new look. He comes on. Offside. Of course, those types of plays would be reviewed. Of course, we're waiting to see, of course, at this level, not going to be implemented, but it's always interesting to see it now that the software, that the assistance is being used in various leagues, especially in Concacaf, now being used, of course, in Major League Soccer, was started being used as Dowden comes on for Jason Marcano. I was at 73. Major League Soccer just started using it a few days ago. It was interesting to speak to former FIFA referee, now pretty much the man spearheading this project, at least in the United States, Howard Webb. He had some very eloquent ways of really showing why this can and will, or that type of system can and will work within not just Major League Soccer or whatever leagues look to implement it within the region, but just in world football in general. Of course, a shout out there to Howard Webb. You've seen a bit more aggressive play from an offensive standpoint for Central FC, but again, lacking in the precision. As you see Marcano on the bench. As time ticking away and looking to end, as it becomes very apparent that Central FC are bidding adieu to this competition. Arabe Unido, of course, were going to play, well, they'll be playing Chorrillo at the weekend on Sunday. They'll be on the road. Here's Small looking to send that pass of death. And the defense being able to stand tall there. Big game for Arabe Unido as they would still be looking to challenge Plaza Amador, currently top of the table in Panama. And of course, that will be the case, but then on August 17th, that falls on a Thursday, next week to be more exact, set actually a week from now. The big match in Panamanian football was going to be Arabe Unido against Plaza Amador. But of course, that can't happen as Plaza Amador and now Arabe Unido, as well as Chorrillo. Let's just add them into the mix as well. But both, the first two teams especially, those two teams were going to face off on Thursday in a top-of-the-table clash. Well, that looks like that will have to be delayed because of those two teams participating in the Concacaf League. And then, of course, we'll have to see what happens the week after that. But at least for Arabe Unido, they'll know they have a bit of a respite as dashing through is Niño. As on the 26th, they'll be on the road against Alianza. Dowden is a third and final substitution about to be made by Dale Saunders. That'll be Jabari Carrasquero. He'll be entering the pitch as we get into the 77th minute of play. The Panamanian FA already announced that they will be making a decision as to when that midweek match will be played or will be rescheduled as soon as they find out when these two teams end up playing. And of course, the same thing affects Chorrillo. As here's Carlos Small breaking down again, top of the six, but nobody there. In the case of Chorrillo, if you want to start, if you're a bit curious as to what they're looking at, of course they play on Sunday against Arabe Unido, big match for them. But Chorrillo is Nathaniel Garcia, drops it back. Chorrillo, well, they're a very interesting side to be looking at right now because of their schedule. Will they be affected as much? Not sure if that is the case. As Lloyd, of course, they already have their match scheduled. At least it looks like it will be for, or at least signs are included. It's not official yet, but it'll most likely be on Tuesday that they will be playing against Santos de Guapiles. Of course, as I mentioned, the official schedule of matches, official fixture will come out shortly after all 8 teams are officially in. course, that ends up putting a bit of a damper on Chorrillo, because if they do play on Tuesday, they do have a match on Thursday, of course, a midweek round in the Panamanian League, and they play Alianza on the road. Will they be, as final substitution, it'll be Jules Lee calling it a night. Will they be asked to play 2 matches in a span of maybe less than 48 hours? Well, that will be interesting to see. So no, wait a second. Wait, not 26, 24. Yeah, there's McKill, Jim Gordon saying, oh, okay, I'll leave. No, but it's Jules Lee that's now being asked to exit stage right. So everyone, both teams have already used all 3 of their substitutions. There's still 10 minutes left. At this point, the match has become academic. Well, the match has been rather academic since the beginning, as Arabe Unido came out like a house on fire and just absolutely have dominated proceedings since the opening whistle. There's a chance for number 4. Ortiz. Too far there by Josimar Gomez. Thinking pass first. So, and a good sign for Panamanian football, as all 3 of their teams advancing. Another chance, another shot. Actually, no, it was a cross intended into the middle for the oncoming Jose Gonzalez instead of taking the actual direct shot on goal. Carlos Small thinking pass first. Central FC, as I mentioned before, big match for them this coming weekend as they face W Connection. As Dowden does a high wire act down the touchline. Dale Saunders of course, W Connection in 3rd place, but W Connection with 2 matches already played, so Central FC have the advantage of having 2 matches in hand to be able to get back and at least be in the argument. Currently Northeast Stars top of the TT Pro League in Trinidad and Tobago. Nino. Small just trying to tear that goal apart with that rocket shot. Similar play as it was Enrico Small who scored and just almost ripped a hole in the net. And again, going back to the table in Trinidad and Tobago, Northeast Stars with 16 points, 1st place, but they also have 2 matches in hand on Club Sando and W Connection. So right now, Northeast Star is the team to beat in the TT Pro League. Of course, there's other teams that need to make up matches. It really starts to become an interesting prospect. And another chance. Looking to take the shot. This goes off the post and Adel's offside. Of course, now they can smile. As Jose Gonzalez, another player that's been snake bit by chances that he's had and missed, and this time, of course, that's the case once again. As we get into the 84th minute of play. Small just running over the defense, and you start to see a lot of that happening in this match. Ball recovered in the middle by Nathaniel Garcia. And looking at Garcia as Barahona writhing in pain right now. Looks like he cramped up. He just made a step kind of funny. This play will be stopped to be a foul, of course, in favor of Central FC. Barahona felt something and just went to ground, and he's just writhing in pain. That's not good news for Arabe Unido to be missing out on this player. As you see, well, not here, just right there. He makes the cut and the leg just gets stuck, and he felt something. He felt something right there and decides to go to ground. He wanted to make the cut back, and the leg just didn't respond. And then it's usually when a player, at least from the outside looking in, that's when a player feels some type of twinge. Keep in mind, there are no more substitutions for either side. So Arabe Unido would be down to 10 men for as long as Barahona, I guess he's gonna make a cut right here. Oh, right there. The leg just got stuck, and hopefully it's nothing serious. That would be a huge blow to what's been a brilliant game by Deportivo Arabe Unido tonight. Not sure if it was his groin or high up in his quadricep where he might have felt that pinch, but of course we'll wait and see what happens if he does return. But remember, Arabe Unido will be down to 10 men for the time being. Will Central FC be able to get that goal to at least get them one back? Obviously now they need 4 goals to be able to pull off the miracle of all miracles right now. It's kind of difficult if you've only taken 1 total shot on goal. But overall, if you were to pick a man of the match, you would have to look at Renan Aros for his brace. But Nelson Barahona, what Enrico Small was able to do, some instances is the shot from outside by Aros, looking to see if Supersad was off his line, but stands very well. The work that was done in the back by Ricardo Chen. If you start looking also what Abdiel Macea was able to do, everyone did their job, and you saw that this team on paper was a much better. As you see, Barahona a little bit ginger, doesn't want. We'll see how he reacts when he has to play the ball full speed. Looks fine, but still hobbling a little bit. Despite him looking a little ginger on that right leg, still looking. Here's Aros looking for the hat trick. Has to turn around, coming back. Aros from outside! Almost 4-0. Him and Small and Gonzalez. Obviously, he'll get all the plaudits because he ends up on the stat sheet with 2 goals. He ends up, of course, becoming one of 4 players to score 2 goals. He, alongside his teammate Carlos Small, also add Bernardo Laureiro and Fito Celaya, who've also had 2 goals apiece in this tournament. So you have a 4-way tie atop the leading goal scorers table after this match. Of course, there's more to come. Coming through, a chance in the middle and stumbling through as we get into the final seconds. I doubt there will be time added on, despite there being a case for at least 3 minutes. At this point, it's just a formality. And 3 minutes more, 3 minutes less, not really necessary, but there will be 3 minutes. So we'll be bidding adieu to the last of the Caribbean teams, but we'll continue having the 3 Panamanian teams in this Scotiabank Concacaf League from outside. And those matches will begin next week. Aros in the middle looking for his hat trick, but it gets cleared away as Arabe Unido want more. For the first leg, the away leg of every single tie coming up in the quarterfinals will be next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The return leg will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the following week. To be more precise, to be the 15th through the 17th, and then the 22nd through the 24th of this month of August. And then we'll see what happens as far as the semifinals are concerned. Just waiting to see exactly when those will be played. Of course, really won't have to wait a few weeks for that to happen, as the teams will not be able to play at the end of the month because of a FIFA international date that will be taking place. Nino, Sipersad, as we're entering the final minute of play. So that will have to wait a little bit. As the FIFA international break will begin on August, or the matches for that FIFA international break will begin on August 31st and end on September 5th. Again, nice play for Small. Ados opening himself up. Oh, one-on-one, great play by Sipersad, but Ados was all by himself, but Carlos Small had the goal scorer's disease, that tunnel vision, had a man wide open, but wanted to wide-eyed tunnel vision there as that goal got bigger. So did his ambition. Final few seconds here at the Rommel Fernandez. Nino, one more attack. This should be it. They take the shot from outside. It goes near, and that will be the end of it. As a efficient, lethal and professional performance by Deportivo Arabe Unido, braced by Renan Adels. Carlos Small tacks on the third one. Your final score from Panama City: Arabe Unido advances 3-0 over Central FC. Thank you very much for watching. Talk to you later. Peace.